Inevitability means, on your present course, where will you most inevitably arrive? In building a successful team of people, learn to work with the people who deserve it, not the people who need it. Key point, learn to work with the people who deserve it, not the people who need it. Now, you've got to set up ahead of time who deserves it. When you bring somebody into the enterprise, you just set it up. Say, when you do this, then we do this. And when you add this to it, then we step in here. When you do all this, then the company. Here's what we do after you've done all this. Make sure all those guidelines are clear when you set it up. Now then you know who deserves it. Somebody says, well, I've done this, and you say, fine, okay, we'll step in, we'll do this. We'll give you the backup. You don't respond to need. You respond to who deserves. People who need it, not the people who deserve it. But you must, in an enterprise, you must learn to respond to the people who deserve, not the people who need. There's plenty of other places for your benevolence. But in your enterprise, you respond to the people who deserve. The people time, but not forever. You can't linger too long. And that's another Bible story, right? Jesus got his disciples together one day and said, look, we're going to go evangelize the world. We've been together 3.5 years. It's now time to put the story on the people. And sure enough, the last 2,000 years, it's been a unique project, evangelizing the world. He said, here's how we're going to do it to start with. We're going to divide up 2 by 2. You two take that city. You two take that city. Story said he divided them up 2 by 2 and sent them out to the various cities and said, go to the city, 2 of you tell the story. Then he said, if they buy the story fairly soon, stay. I guess, right? Put it all together, start the classes, get the church going, whatever. Get the synagogue rolling, whatever it was in those days. And build and grow. But he said, if you walk into a city and you tell the story and they don't respond fairly soon, he said, don't stay. Leave. Now see, that's excellent leadership advice. Don't stay. And the reason is there's too many cities that will to linger long with those that won't. There was one story, said Jesus and his disciples were walking along this road, I guess after a hard day's work. They're heading home. And one of the disciples said, there's a fig tree. Let's go over, have some figs, relax a little bit, and then continue our journey. And evidently the master thought it was a good idea, so the story says they all went off the side of the road to this fig tree. And it must have been the season of the figs, right? Or they wouldn't have said, let's go have some figs. So they walk over to this fig tree, and they look all around it, inside and out, check it all out, and to their very great disappointment, on this fig tree, in the season of the figs, there were no figs. On a fig tree. Very quickly, according to the story, Jesus said, take this tree out. That's what he said. A fig tree is supposed to have figs. Take this one out. Give us a chance with this tree. We'll dig around it and see if we can work with it. And the next time we come by here, the next season, then we'll have some figs. Jesus said, you got a deal. So evidently they worked with this tree. And sure enough, the story flashes back and says they came along that road the next season for the second time. One of them said, there's our tree. Let's go have some figs. And for the second season in a row, they went over, checked out this fig tree, and sure enough, to their great disappointment, for the second season in a row, no figs. Without hesitation, Jesus this time said, take this tree out. And he added, why let it take up the ground? And I guess that means fig trees better have figs. Everybody together and say, today we checking the figs. To see who gets to stay. I don't know what else you do. Finally, you got to check by results. You judge by results in the final analysis. Do what they can do. Because you can teach on apples and hang apples on a pear tree, try to get it started. You can put up a sign that says, this is an apple tree. I mean, you can play all kinds of tricks. But sure enough, come season, you got pairs. Become what they're going to become, be what they're going to be. But leadership learns the skill of selectivity rather than trying to remake people, because you can't make people become successful. Story of Gideon, the Jewish hero, military hero. Interesting story. Story says, the angel of the Lord appeared unto Gideon and said, you've been chosen to raise an army and chase off the Midianites. And the Israelites were having a problem with the Midianites. I guess they were in God's doghouse for a while, right? He sent the Midianites along to, rough them up and push them around and give them all kinds of heartache and trouble. And the Midianites were good at it because they were mean and ugly. They were bad news. But I guess finally they'd learned their lesson, right? And it was time for the Midianites to go. Period of time, Gideon raised an army of 32,000. Short time. He is fairly proud of himself. Brings his 32,000 to the good Lord and said, I did as you commanded, I now have an army. We're ready for the Midianites. Good Lord says, good job, Gideon. You got to be one of the earth's noble. However, we got a problem. Gideon says, what is it? I'll fix it. The good Lord said, well, I appreciate your recruiting effort, but you got too many. But anyway, the good Lord says, hey, take my word for it, you got too many. And Gideon says, well, what shall I do? The good Lord says, try this. Get them all together in one place, stand up, give your last ringing military speech, we're going to go conquer the Midianites. When you finish with your speech, say, if there's anybody here that's afraid we're going to lose the upcoming fight with the Midianites, you can be excused, no questions asked, just go home. Can't use you. Gave his last ringing military speech, wound it up by saying, if there's anybody here that's afraid with the upcoming battle that we're going to lose, you can just quietly go home, we don't need you. And sure enough, some left that were afraid they were going to lose. And the number was 22,000. Now, I don't know if they wrote pink slips or what they did, right? But Gideon says, how true. If you've got 32,000 and 22,000 think you're going to lose, guess what? You're going to lose. You can't use that many losers. March the 10,000 till they're hot and thirsty down to the river. And when you get to the river, the ones that just jump in, throw their spear down, throw their shield down, just jump in the water and start drinking. Said, you can't use them. They're too reckless. They're too careless. They're not vigilant. And you don't have time to train them. But the ones that keep the spear and the shield and just lap the water like a dog and keep looking around, those are the ones that are ready. And those are the troops you can use to fight the battle. Gideon said, how clever. Marches the 10,000 till they're hot and thirsty down by the river. And sure enough, some jumped in. They were careless. They threw down their spear, threw down their shield, jumped in the water, started drinking. And the number was 9,700. 300 that were left. And Gideon becomes the great military hero. His story is preserved. And part of the lesson is, when you start an enterprise and you want to accomplish something, you got to keep checking to make sure you haven't got too many that have lost the joy, they've lost the excitement, they've lost the vigor and the vitality and the feeling for success. And you just got to go through and find some little tests or something that will start showing you who you've got that's going to help you get the job. See, the real challenge of life is to be the least of the bad in us and the most of the good in us. And of possibility. Possibility. What's possible? The most incredible things are possible once you make the study, read the stories, look into it, you understand possibilities are everywhere. Opportunity in business, opportunity in changing times, opportunity everywhere. Make sure you just take a look at all the opportunities in your own enterprise. Sometimes you don't have to go looking far for opportunity. It's right there. Don't miss the opportunities. A man now has one home and 2 cars. What he really should have is 1 car and 2 homes. Make sure you don't miss the opportunities, because a lot of them are right there, right there. Okay, don't pass up, but be a student of opportunity. Humans have the most incredible ability, and be a student of your own ability. No telling what you could learn if you tried. No telling what skill you could develop if you tried. No telling what you could accomplish in your own ability. I've discovered some incredibly unique people that had the ability, and it just wasn't obvious to begin with. I found Harold Dyke up in Canada about 23, 24 years ago. And we met socially, but I took a look right away and I said, here's a unique young man. He was 28 years old. He'd been working for the railroad in Canada for 10 years, started when he was 18, right out of high school. He was now 28 years old, been there 10 years, and he was making $325 a month, something about like that. And he was getting a bit discouraged. He said, I looked 4 desks over from me, and there's a man, 45, making $600-700 a month. And he said, you mean I'm going to go from now till age 45, move 3 desks, and make $600-700 a month? He said, I was just getting a little discouraged with my prospects there. Well, anyway, I came along and I met him, and I knew he had unusual ability. So I recruited him, hired him, he went to work for me. His first year with me, he made over $45,000. From a $325 clerk to $45,000 his first year. Incredible. Now he's a very successful businessman. Incredible, unique gentleman. And the railroad had him for 10 years and never discovered his unusual abilities. Right? You've got to make sure you discover, in the role of leadership, discover the people who've got the ability, and then make sure you discover your own ability. See, some things you just don't know till you try. You just don't know till you see if you can do it.